Hey, Mark Rodriguez here, and you're watching a review Sanctum, where everything and anything may be reviewed. But first, check out the cool AEW-themed Christmas tree. Well, AEW and, Dragon Ball Z and stuff, but yeah, check that out. Alright guys, so now we saw the Christmas tree. It's going to the movie. Today we're talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. Pretty awesome there. And yes, the movie is still, I think it's its second week right now, so if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, I'm going to try to avoid the real big heavy spoilers, but I'm going to go into some spoilers. It's kind of hard to resist, so maybe skip this video until you've actually seen the movie first, you know what I mean? So anyways, No Way Home starts right after Far From Home. If you remember the whole thing with Mysterio, where even after his death, I guess he pre-recorded a video in case he died or whatever. I guess it was set to go off or something in the event of his death or whatever. But the video basically tells the whole world at large that Spider-Man killed him. He's like a murderer, and all these attacks with the drones that of course Mysterio was behind, he told everyone that Spider-Man is involved because of course the drones were stolen from Stark Technologies and Spider-Man's involved with Tony Stark, and it's like, he killed me. He said no one else could be Tony Stark except him and all that stuff. The next Tony Stark except for him and all that stuff. Because remember, Mysterio painted himself as a hero to the world at large. So now everyone thinks that Spider-Man is a murderer. He killed Mysterio, which is supposed to be a hero, and he took over Stark Industries with the drones and whatever and all that stuff. So we go into a bit of that in the beginning of the movie. Everyone, literally fucking everyone knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so of course everyone goes after Aunt May and Ned and MJ, but I believe her name is Mary Jones. They revealed that it's Mary Jones or Melissa Jones, something like that, but obviously it's not Mary Jane, it's like Melissa Jones. I remember the Jones part, but anyways, yeah, so everyone's after them and stuff. Now there's a big divide. It's kind of like the people that still love Spider-Man because, he's still a hero, I believe he's a hero, and everyone else that believes that Mysterio was the hero, and they have to sign Mysterio was right, or I believe in Mysterio, and stuff like that. So it's a big thing, and it's fucking up Peter Parker's life and everything. But of course, Peter Parker, being the selfless person that he is, doesn't really care much about his life. He's more concerned that he's just fucking up his aunt's life, he's fucking up the life of MJ and Ned. There's a big thing with the college stuff, and they all got denied the college that they wanted to go to because of the controversy and all that kind of stuff. But as usual, you would expect Peter Parker, obviously he feels bad that he couldn't go, but he feels worse that Ned and MJ can't go, and it's his fault and everything. So of course, like you saw in the trailer and stuff, he goes to Doctor Strange. He asks for the favor, this big spell to wipe everyone's mind out of to forget that he's Peter Parker. But this spell is very delicate. It affects, I guess, unknown variables and stuff like that, and also affects the multiverse and everything. But during the spell, he kept rewriting it to include, okay, everyone forget about Spider-Man except for Aunt May, or everyone except for Aunt May, but also MJ, but also Ned, that kind of, also Happy and all that stuff, And of course, as you know, the spell got fucked up. Well, actually, the spell was contained. It was contained because it was gonna fuck shit up, but they didn't know that shit already got fucked up. So Dr. Octopus appears, of course, straight from the Spider-Man 2 movie, and the Green Goblin appears, William Dafoe, but he plays a little smart compared to everybody else. Electro appears, the Lizard appears, and who's the other one? Oh, the Sandman appears. And I do like that a lot of these people are still true to character. A lot of people were saying back then that, Doc Ock kind of had to change of heart. He woke up in the last moment of the movie before he died, you know what I mean? Why is he evil again? But this, it's snatching them out of, the moments in the movie. So at the time of the movie that Doc Ock was taken out, he was taken out, when he was still a bad guy, he was still trying to, make his machine work, and he's fighting against Spider-Man, fighting against, MJ is in danger and all that kind of shit. So it's he's still in evil mode at that point of the movie. And of course the foe, Green Goblin's still in evil mode, Shocker, all of them characters, So it's kind of interesting. So basically Doctor Strange captured them all, or he captured the Lizard, I guess, and Doc Ock afterwards, but he wanted, help with them finding the others and catching them all and stuff like that. And it's kind of interesting. I love the dynamic. I love how it kind of makes sense because a lot of these characters were actually supposed to be world famous characters where they come from. So in terms of Norman Osborn, obviously he was known for Oscorp and stuff like that, but like everyone knows that he died fighting against Spider-Man and everything. So like Doc Ock hears the name, he's like, well, that's impossible. Osborn's been dead for years. What the fuck? You know, that kind of stuff. So it's interesting. And let me see here. The same thing with everyone else. Like Electro, when we first see him, there's the traitors and stuff, you know. But when we first see him, he is like he was in Spider-Man 2. He was a being that was made out of energy, and somehow bringing him to this dimension like made him like I guess human again, but with electrical powers and way more powers, because of course the world is way more technologically advanced. And that's the thing, everyone is also caught up on modern technology, how much it changed since like back in the, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, whenever those movies first came out and stuff like that. And yeah, so basically what happens is that since a lot of these people know, they start like talking and everything, and Sandman kind of makes sense because Sandman was like the last bad guy that Maguire fought. So Sandman explains that from the news and stuff they heard that Doc Ock died fighting Spider-Man, that Green Goblin died fighting Spider-Man, so they know that if they go back to their worlds, they're going to go right back and die and everything. And I believe the Electro also like heard about Dr. Connors and what happened to him and how he also died. And the bad guys, like when they start talking, they're kind of like, I was doing this, I was doing that, and then like, I don't remember what happened after that. So they realize that most of them, except for Sandman, most of them are going to go right back into their, like, right to their deaths. You know what I mean? And Doctor Strange is like, well, I mean, that's their fate. That's too bad. That's just what's got to happen. But of course, you know, Peter Parker wants to do something. He wants to help them. Maybe he could help them. Maybe he could give them a second chance and stuff like that. And of course, there's a tangle here and there between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. The bad guys come loose. There's a whole part where Spider-Man, where Parker and Aunt May and you know, Ned and MJ all want to help them. They want to find out like what caused their accidents and help them. For example, with Dr. Octopus, that weird chip in the back of his head fucking up was what made him evil because the tentacles are driving him insane. So if they fix it, they might make him good again. You know, stuff like that. But you know, shit happens. All hell breaks loose. The bad guys are out and free. Everyone's after Spider-Man because they're blaming him too for these new bad guys and everything. And I won't spoil too much, but in the worst of everything, this is when the other Spider-Man actually appear. And I love, not just that they appeared, but I love that they appeared in a good moment. Like, what can I say? In a moment where they had enough screen time. I was really worried they were only going to appear like last 10 minutes or something. They just come in and what? No, here, like it's so awesome that they come in at a good time. They, you know, there's enough time for a lot of banter between the multiple, you know, Spider-Man, and there are a lot of jokes, you know, people say, like Ned says, Peter, they all, what? You know, well, I mean, you know, Peter Parker, yeah, that's still us, you know what I mean? A lot of jokes and stuff related to the fact that we got 3 Spider-Men now. I like the part, I really love the part, I was waiting for that because we all know that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is the only one that has organic web shooters and the other guys gotta make them. So there's a part where everyone's like suiting up and stuff and they're gonna grab like the web fluid or whatever, and Maguire's like, whoa, what's that for? You know, for the things, and he like just shoots the webs and they're like, whoa, because that just like literally came out of his wrist, and they're asking like, how does that work, yo, and all that stuff. So I love that. I love that the characters all went through their own stories, their own interactions. They kind of sort of, you know, closed the gap between like, I guess, that's what I say. They conclude their arcs with their own villains and stuff like that. And I just love it. I just love, like, so much attention to continuity. Like, they literally watch these movies who knows how many times to get every detail right. There isn't any that looks like, you know, like, why would the Goblin do this in the last movie, you know, or why would Doc Ock act so out of character? Like, they really paid attention to these guys and the details in the movies and how it works and stuff. I just really love that because I am a bit of a continuity nut, you know, and I love to pay attention. Like, for me, I would still, I don't know, like let's say, for example, let's say, I don't think, Electro never knew that Spider-Man was Peter Parker. Like, if he just came out and say, hey, Peter, I would have been like, well, that never happened in Spider-Man, well, Amazing Spider-Man 2, you know, whatever. But they did everything right. They paid close attention to how all these characters would act and stuff during, like, their movies and things like that. So it's pretty cool. And that's all I can say because I don't want to go too much into spoilers. Very good movie. Everyone did good acting. Like, you know, they became the character. These guys were having a blast, having a chance to come back and replay all these characters. Like we never thought we were ever going to see Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man ever again. You know, Alfred Molina was perfect as Doc Ock. William Dafoe was definitely one of the most dangerous bad guys of all of them in this series. I like that Sandman wasn't so much a bad guy. I mean, he was still a friend of sorts, but in the end, he just got fucking impatient because he just wanted to go home, because it was kind of like we'll send them home after we, you know, cure these bad guys of their superpowers, but in the end, Sandman's like, no, I'm fucking tired of waiting, I'm going home now. So it kind of makes sense that he would kind of sort of align with the bad guys for the sake of just, let's just go home, because he doesn't die when he goes home, you know what I mean? He just wants to see his daughter, which I'm glad they you know, remind us of that. And I also like how the characters came back too, because for most of the movie, the Lizard is the Lizard, you know, giant CGI monster, and the Sandman is like a kind of human-sized sand monster thing, so I'm kind of okay, more CGI there. But I like that there are some scenes that won't spoil too much where the actual actors appear. I was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe they couldn't bring the actors back, maybe just their voices or whatever, you know, save some money, but no, the actual actors do come back in the movie too, certain scenes I don't want to spoil, but yeah, and even explain, you know, why Electro looks different now, like somehow coming over to this world did that, and shit like that. So it is kind of interesting, and what can I say, I love the movie, I love like all the things. This is like one big nostalgia fiesta of anyone that's ever seen any Spider-Man movie. I don't really know how they're gonna, like, what they're gonna do after this or what. Apparently Tom Holland wants to take some time off and, you know, get with Zendaya. I guess they're together in real life and they don't want to, I guess, become a family or whatever. I don't know. So I don't know what's happening in the world of like the movies and stuff like that. Doctor Strange is going to have a Doctor Strange movie. I think it's called the Multiverse of Madness between him and Scarlet Witch and stuff like that. So like whatever happens in that movie is a result of this movie. But it's like, I mean, it's not going to involve Spider-Man, obviously. Now we go into the other side. So we don't know what's going to happen in terms of more Spider-Man movies after this. But this one, like, I don't know. This is basically Spider-Man's endgame. This is the big one that he has a lot of sacrifices and stuff. And it's also kind of like an extra ending finale for the Tobey Maguire movies and the Andrew Garfield movies and their bad guys and all the stuff they go through and a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? So it is pretty interesting to see how it goes, and yeah, that's all I can say. So it's an awesome movie, just watch it if you're a fan of the Spider-Man movies, of any Spider-Man movie anyways, and they're all cool and stuff, and it's pretty awesome, and I mean, I just loved, like I said, the part I'm happiest the most is I'm glad we got decent screen time. They kind of appeared, I want to say they appeared when they needed them to appear the most, I want to say that. But it wasn't something cheap, like, oh, the last 10 minutes, oh, the last 5 minutes, or maybe Maguire appears throughout most of it, and Andrew appears for the last 5 minutes. None of that shit. They appeared in the third act, but the third act is still lengthy enough. And of course, there's just wild and crazy action of 3 Spider-Men fighting all these different, you know, super villains all at the same time, like a big face though, a lot of stakes, a lot of stuff involved, and it's pretty awesome. So that's all I can say, guys. It's a pretty good movie. Go check it out. It's pretty awesome. And once again, it's Mark Rodriguez here for the Review Sanctum, where everything and anything may be reviewed. See you next time.